right, housing could be ending the year the way it began it, with overall strong home sales. The expectations were about 770,000 units would be sold. Of course, we ended up with 744,000. Be that as it may, it's the trend that has been the industry's friend. Let's see how long that goes with Tim Rood, the managing director over at SitusAMC, the former Fannie Mae executive. Tim, great seeing you. How do you think housing looks right now? You hear about young new buyers getting sort of priced out because the inventory is so low. So many are paying cash for homes these days. But that's a sign of very strong demand, period. So the wind is at the industry's back. Where are you on this?
Yeah, for sure. And Neil, it feels like a pandemic or two since we chatted. So nice to see you again.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, look, the housing market is firing on all cylinders. You just saw the numbers come out today for existing home sales. It's going to hit a record, probably the first record it hit since 2006. While that sounds impressive by itself, it's doing it with record low inventory, which is just kind of counterintuitive. New home sales, same thing, on a pace to beat the last record, which was 2007. And now you're even seeing, the unthinkable. You're seeing construction. You're seeing construction, I guess, multifamily and single-family residential at a pace you haven't seen since 1973. But to your point, yeah, that all sounds great, just at a high level, abstract sort of things, unless you're one of these poor guys, gals who are trying to actually get into the market and for the last 2 years, and you're probably priced out. You're a little freaked out about buying it at the top of the market, and you're certainly stressed out.
Are you buying at the top of the market if you go in right now, Tim?
Look, I still think you've got plenty of way to go. I mean, look, you can't get around the supply and demand sort of, dynamic. That's just not going to change anytime soon. You've got the two largest cohorts for millennials really coming of age right now, 31, 32 years old. So, I mean, that's the age right now where they're looking to start households and buy a home. The inventory problem is hard to remedy, even on the, if you think about it this way. If, let's just say that interest rates went up 0.5%, clutch your pearls, right? That would be like 3.5%. Historically, when that happens, you actually don't see sellers put their homes on the market. They actually take them off the market. So because there's no opportunity for them to move down, really, there's no economic incentive for them to do it. It's too expensive to move up. And contrary to that, when rates go up, you've got all these people on the fence saying, oh my God, I'm going to lose this last opportunity to buy. So now you have more supply chasing less, or more demand chasing less supply. So no, I don't think that's going to change in the foreseeable future. Not at least until you have like Gen Zs, which is a much smaller generation than millennials, forming fewer households. And then you've got baby boomers will be downsizing. So that's probably 5-10 years off.
Yeah, I don't see, it could be just me, I don't see the froth or the giddiness that highlighted the last housing bubble when people were buying properties sight unseen, flipping them and all that. You see little pockets of that in some hot markets, but nothing like we experienced. So I guess I don't see a repeat of that. Do you?
No, I mean, look, the last market was based largely on fraud, speculation, and financial engineering. You don't have any of those things right now. I think the less explored topic, Neil, really is kind of like, what's the federal government's role in all of this? I get the supply side, I get the demand side and all of those things, but I don't think people fully appreciate what's going on sort of here in DC, where, the federal government has essentially nationalized mortgage finance after the great financial crisis. They're backing 95% of all new originations. And that, of course, subsidizes the interest rates. So you lower the interest rates, which is wonderful, especially for low to moderate income Americans. But it also includes, second homes, investment properties, $1 million mortgages, which, it's a little bit harder to argue why the government needs to be subsidizing those loans, right? Especially also the government really kind of, as it took over the industry, one of the other things is, look, government intervention, as you know, and government takeovers is like a vaccine against efficiencies, right? So now the industry is terribly inefficient. It's got higher cost, lower productivity, and all those things flow down to borrowers in terms of higher cost, worse service, and really less options.
But it is what it is, to your point. Well, Tim, we have to do this more often, not just have to plow through a pandemic. But it's very good seeing you again, my friend Tim Rood, expert read of all things real estate, uncannily prescient, long before this housing boom, that a boom was coming. All right, we have a lot more coming up, including